So I think we'll go ahead and get started. Again, we're going to start with an overview that Yael Cinnamon has, our product manager, has pre-recorded, and then there'll be a brief demo at the end. So let's go ahead and get started.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining me today to Horizon Playblocks session. We just launched the platform really recently this week, and I'm very excited to tell you all about its great capabilities and features and the great value it can give you as Checkpoint customers and to all Checkpoint customers, actually. So I would love to get started with a presentation followed by a quick demonstration of the product itself and a quick demo of it. And I hope you guys would get the value you need. And I will also love to guide you where you can get more materials about Horizon Playbooks. So let's get started with sharing the presentation. And I will wait just a bit to make sure that you can see my screen. And there you go. Okay, so guys, Horizon Playblocks, the security, collaboration, and automation platforms by Checkpoint. This is brand new, and I really like to get started with the motivation of why Checkpoint really wanted to create such a platform to her customers. So just to get started with that, we are seeing all over the world with all the attacks that we are experiencing in the past years that attackers are very aggressive and very creative with how they attack organization. So we are seeing attackers that are very persistent with the method that they are using and the enforcement points that they are trying to attack. So attackers can actually attack the organization email, but once that wasn't successful, it can move along to the gateways, to the endpoint, to the mobile. We can see really a persistent methods and variety of attack vectors when attackers is trying to really harm or infiltrate an organization. And this is not the way that organizations are normally protective of themselves. So that means that you have an email protection, an endpoint protection, a different tool for the network protection. So you have that siloed security tools working in siloed by themselves, not communicating with one another in terms of prevention even. So once you attack you prevented an attack in one enforcement point, that attacker can continue trying to infiltrate and harm you, trying to really get into or to harm any of the other enforcement points that are not aware of that, attempt. And you can see that those people responsible for the organization protection, the analysts themselves, they're having a hard time to really manage these siloed security tools all by themselves. And we are leaving them with a great gap of manual error, human error, and the fact that they are simply not able to really see one attack in one place and making sure that everything else is protected all by themselves manually. So we can see by absorbing that situation that collaboration is very much needed for all around the world, for all organizations, because collaboration in terms of prevention, that will help overcome the limitation of siloed. Security tools should not work alone or in siloed when it comes to prevention and response. They have to communicate with one another. And also, once we have all those security tools working by themselves, and also we adding to those all these IT management tools, your channels of communication, the Teams, the Slack, all those tools that you are communicating with about what you're doing, when all of those are not combined and sharing information, you are very much in the gap of both operational inefficiency, not being efficient enough, but also gap of security. And this is where we see that collaboration is very much needed. And for that, we created Horizon Playblocks, the security automation and response platform that really puts collaborative security in action. And this is what we really wanted to focus on. And we can see just one of the quotes that the early availability customer, the Mototech, gave us about the use of Horizon Playblocks. And he says that the collaborative nature of the platform means that all of our security products are working in sync together to provide a level of security which was previously unattainable. And that is very reassuring for us as the ones developing that platform, because this is exactly the main value that we wanted our customer to experience. We wanted to make sure that we give an added value that could not be reached without the automation that the Playblocks can enable. And just to give you an example of how Playblocks comes into life and where it took part in the everyday life of organization protectors, we can see that once, for example, at this point, an endpoint was compromised, that detection of the endpoint security triggered Playblocks to enforce preventive action across all the other enforcement points, making sure that that attacker is now blocked and cannot even attempt to communicate to any other a security tool that is in connection and integrated with Horizon Playblocks. So all the entire infrastructure is now protected by that attacker once we actually was able to detect it as an attacker. And it's not only keeping all of these other security tools in check and protective, by doing that, by putting the preventive action in motion, we also notify the admin and the SOC admin about what's going on and why, giving him all the details about the attack and the preventive action that was taken through the communication channel he chose. So that could be through the Slack, the Teams, email, SMS. You can also choose that upon some detection and preventive action follow that, we can also open a ticket in ServiceNow or in Jira. So all these other IT management tools are connected to the security action and automation that actually taking place. So it both cover your security aspect, but even the operational aspect. And just to give you a sense of what I mean, you must realize that Horizon Playblocks is part of the Horizon pillar of Checkpoint. So Horizon in general is the pillar that we build to give a solution and to give services and platforms and solution for all the efficiency that currently we see in the SOC of our customers. So in general on the security teams. So we have Horizon MDR, which is managed by Checkpoint experts as a service 24/7, and that is more appropriate for customers that wants to exclude the responsibility elsewhere and want to give Checkpoint expert to manage their environment or some of the environment. They need help with that. So we have the MDR, MPR, we have Horizon XDR, brain of collaborative threat prevention through intelligent AI correlation. So that means that we take all these logs, even benign or not interesting logs, and we correlate them in a way that enable the platform itself to really detect advanced incidents that could not have been detected other than using the strong mind, the AI and machine learning models of Horizon XDR, XPR. And also with that platform, we include other tools of investigation, like the intelligent tool or threat hunting tool across all the logs that coming in from all connected products. So we have more of in-depth tools and intelligent for your SOC analyst. And Horizon Playblocks, which is the automation and response platform that can get any kind of figure from any kind of the security tools connected to that and carry out the needed preventive action. That is the platform that actually responds for the response part. This is, of course, sell as a different unit, but comes included with Horizon XDR XPR. So for the ones of you who already been interested or aware of Horizon XPR, or actually, a customer of ours, you get the Horizon Playblocks is included with Horizon XDR XPR license. But just to get a bit more in depth about the details of Horizon Playblocks, you can see that currently we include all these out of the box playbooks that really is connected with a Checkpoint product currently, and you just need as a user to automate those. And the out of the box playbooks really gives you the certainty that once you activate those, you get no false positive, you get the really needed value that you seek on without configure anything by yourself, without really getting the hassle of configuration, of making sure it's all set with your environment. You have a great insurance by just activate the needed out of the box playbook and making sure that you give us Checkpoint to make sure that the needed value is given. And you can see with our great feedback from EA, and you will try the platform yourself. You can see how easy it is to operate, to understand what's the trigger and what's the outcome, and choose for yourself which of the out-of-the-box playbooks are really suited for your needs. And it's not only, as I said, just the security value of the prevention itself, the communication channel, the sync with all the other IT workflows and IT management tools, keep everything in sync and really informed immediately and automatically. And that gives you the optimization in terms of operational efficiency. And just to get started with sharing a few of the example, our early availability customer experience, we will start with a pharmaceutical company that has 14,000 users in their environment. And we could actually, the security endpoint that they are using was able to identify the Trojan infection on one of their devices. And what happened is that the detection was successful enough, but the endpoint security could not have fully mitigate the risk since it wasn't able to clean that infected devices. But the detection itself triggered Playblocks to block that device on the gateway to stop any outgoing traffic from that infected endpoint, from that infected device. And we can see later on that all those you can see at the picture attached, we saw a lot of outgoing traffic trying to get ahead and trying to go out from that infected device. So that detection was very much successful because we could see that device were actually trying to get out and making sure to have that, trying to connect to other devices on the organization, which is very much entitled to lateral movement, trying to infect more the organization. Not only we were able to quarantine that immediately, the team channels that the user chose was immediately notified, and the admin itself can go ahead and mitigate the cleanup of devices as should have. So the notification was very much needed for them to understand what happened, where was the failure, and how come Playblocks was in fact helpful in making sure to prevent further spreading of the attack and keeping that attack in check and centralized in the infected point, and making sure that all the other enforcement points are infected. And for that, he was very helpful in that aspect. And this is just one of the example of how Playblocks is helping the collaborative prevention. The infection was actually on the endpoint. The prevention was not only on the endpoint, but also on the gateway. And that really secured the entire organization. If we'll move on to a different example, which is all about how Playblocks was helpful in web vulnerability exploit on a customer that is from the industrial manufacturing sector with 2,000 users. And by that, we actually went back a little before that to make sure that we understand the entire flow of the attack. And we saw that that malicious IP that was after the fact was found to be malicious. We saw that he had done some communication with the organization. Some of the logs he was involved in were dropped, some were expected. We saw him, how we defined it, gather intelligence on the organization for about 2 months. But only once he actually attacked the organization, IPS Blade on the gateway, the quantum gateway was able to identify an attack that actually triggered Playblocks to block that IP from all gateways all around the organization. So not only in that specific branch, but all the gateways connected all around the world are now protected and enforce the prevention from that specific IP. So that automatic block actually made sure that the organization is now fully protected from that IP, and there's no way to attempt even communication with any kind of other attack vector or anything else from that attacker. So of course we can see now the notification the SOC admin got with all the information that we saw up until that moment. And we can see that really after the fact, we saw that there was some other attempts to communicate. Of course, they were all dropped due to the successful preventive action done by Playblocks. So once we saw an attacker, an AP, any kind of indicator of compromise trying to attack the organization, even if we saw that, we wanted to make sure he will never be able, or in the limits of the user choosing, to attempt communication with the organization, because there's no reason to once someone would actually attack you. So this is where Playblocks get into action, making sure the entire enforcement point are all with the preventive action needed to make sure that attacker is not able to attack no more. And now I wanted to present a different case about how Playblocks were helpful in preventing DDoS attack. And this is about a company that is public, and it's a SaaS company, a technology company with 6,000 users. And we can see that in one morning we had seen over 2,000 malicious IP identified as attacking the organization. It was all from geolocation over the weekend. So there was really lack of, people handling that situation. But once we saw all those IP addresses attacking the organization, Playblocks took a crucial part of making sure those IPs specifically could not attempt any more communication with the channels, really dropping the chances of a DDoS attacks. And actually, all of those communication, once they were attacked once, all the communication stopped indefinitely for those IPs. So in terms of the attack specifically, a DDoS could not have been performed because Playblocks took action and got involved. And this is quite, and you can see how that happened across the entire weekend and through all this time. And unlike other DDoS protection, where they have to be very meticulous in what they prevent, all those kind of checks, which takes time, and there's still the gap of timing that could allow that attack to happen. Since Playblocks is immediate, so it doesn't need to really learn the traffic. Once an IP attacked you, that could trigger Playblocks to block that IP to your choosing of time frame. So that will actually was very helpful for preventing DDoS attack, and that would play a crucial part of protecting that particular company. So that was about that a specific use case. And just to tell you about the last use case I wanted to share, and this is more about, operational value. And you can see that once we connect at that case, Checkpoint IoT, Quantum IoT Protect, and this story is about industry manufacturer that has 2,000 users, and they do use a Quantum IoT Protector. And you can see that once we identify the IoT identified, detected a new IoT device which wasn't familiar before. And he was able to identify there's no IoT policy that is associated with that. That detection triggered Playblocks to message the security admin with the identification and the location of the router, and then immediately applied the appropriate zero trust access policy to make sure it's already in sync with the necessary policy. So it kept the admin really informed with the changes that happen in the environment. And of course, there was no interruption to the operational and no additional management overhead needed, right? Because everything happened automatically. We identified IoT device was new type of that. The IoT by itself didn't know where it belongs to, but that triggered Playblocks to take that needed action to make sure all the stars are, in line, and everything else is just being notified to the admin as what's happening in terms of notification. But all of the needed action happened automatically, and that gave a great value in terms of the operational efficiency that is very much needed. So this is just one of the example of how Horizon Playblocks can help even in the operational aspect of things. So it is available today. We currently have 24 out of the box Playblocks that is mainly all about security value and operational value. So the great value comes from connecting your quantum gateway, IoT, SD-WAN, Harmony endpoint. It of course included to XDR, XPR. So all of the products that are included with that license also take part of the Horizon Playblocks. And you also have the ability to really make sure that you check the platform daily, because the integration that we keep adding to that platform it's in a major pace, in very fast pace. And you will also see that once you'll try the platform, the onboarding part and connecting your environment to that is very easy. It's super fast. It's like nothing you experienced before in Checkpoint, and it's available as a cloud service, so everything is being updated very fast and immediately to your application. So make sure to try that platform and see all those abilities that available now and are keep being piled up and added with a great value of security and operational. So it's all about, once we are starting talking about the 3Cs, the Horizon, all of the Horizon services and platforms are demonstrating those 3Cs that makes Checkpoint product best in the security in the most beautiful way possible, because it's all about the collaboration, right? We're making sure that we collaborate whatever we're seeing in one enforcement point, and we collab the prevention to all the other enforcement point connected. So we have that everything consolidation. So Playblocks is available for mainly Checkpoint security products and solutions. But of course, since it's connected to XDR, XPR, third parties, security tools are connected as well. And it's all automatic. So the out-of-the-box security and operational flows available to you to make that automation happen automatically are super fast, super valuable, and you will see how the automation and the connection with the other tools that you are using, Teams, all of that, making the experience very easy, very straightforward, and very exciting, if I might say. So this is about the availability right now and where we headed, and very proud to make sure that we'll introduce the great pace of more integration and more value to give. And just to discuss about the licensing and pricing. So in terms of running Playblocks for a while now with the great audience of early availability customer, we managed to make sure that we give that value we launch with right now, and we developed over time, and making sure those customers are excited about the value, that they appreciate of it, and they actually see what we meant to develop and to give them. And so we can see all around the world customer experience Playblocks and sees that as platform they can trust get the job done and with the insurance that it will not be false positive, that they have the confidence and the trust in Playblocks that whatever is happening because it has to. And the automation part is extremely important because whatever they see that happened, that they had to do by themselves manually, now Playblocks is doing automatically. And that gives a lot of peace of mind and reduce the overhead that currently interfering with the everyday work of the SOC analyst. So we seen that feedback, and of course those thousands of customers that we that has experience with Playblocks gave us their feedback about the pricing. So we feel comfortable with the solution and the offer that is very unprecedented for such a solution. Horizon Playblocks that includes all the integration with current and future integration be available as part of Horizon Playblocks, and also all those IT management tools. So whatever is available now and will be available in the future, the Slack, the IT, the Jira, the ServiceNow, all of that is in one pricing, in one package, in one platform that includes all. So it will be $1 per user per month, and that will include everything with unlimited executions, and you'll have the ability to integrate more product in the future. You'll have the ability to not only use the out-of-the-box playbooks, but also to create one yourself. This is definitely in our roadmap, and in a short roadmap, you will see that very soon, and you'll see how fast we'll integrate more and more Checkpoint products and even other products to make sure you'll see more security and operational value. And guys, just make sure you're aware, Horizon Playblocks is included with Horizon XDR, XPR. So once you purchase that license, you can already start enjoying Horizon Playblocks with no additional cost. So you have both options. And just to give you another important information about the pricing, if you are only a Quantum customer that only has Quantum Gateway in your user base, you can also choose the method of purchasing Playblocks as a blade to the Quantum Gateway. So in that case, you will only connect that specific gateway to the Playblocks, and only the playbooks that are related to Quantum Gateways will be available to you. You have that option if you don't see any value of adding more product and more automation. But if you will choose to purchase that, that will be as the 10% of the gateway that you'll choose to connect. So you have that option for Quantum Gateway alone. All the others that are available for all of the security tools, all the IT management tools, unlimited executions, that is the prime offer that we launch with. And I will be happy to start a video showing you the demo, showing you how we really demonstrate the capabilities, and showing all of that in the platform itself. So we will now start a video that is actually pre-recorded with the group manager of Playblocks, with the R&D, Eran Chabad, and myself. And I hope you guys will fully understand that capability and demonstration. We'll have a lot of other materials on the Checkpoint website, and I'm really inviting you to reach out your Checkpoint representative to learn more about it and to try it out. So thank you for joining me today, and we'll go ahead and start the demonstration video. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Yael, for that wonderful overview of Horizon Playblocks. I have put in the announcement windows, meanwhile, a link where you can download the solution brief if you'd like to. And let's just go ahead and get started with the demonstration.
Hi, I'm Yael, Horizon Product Manager.
And my name is Eran, Group Manager in the R&D responsible for Playblocks.
And we are excited to introduce Horizon Playblocks, Checkpoint's new security automation and response platform for collaborative security. Horizon Playblocks introduced a collaborative approach that transformed the prevention paradigm, overcome the limitation of isolated efforts, making products, people, and processes all work together. Playblocks offer out-of-the-box security and operational-oriented playbooks that are automatically triggered by the connected security products upon attack detection and operational-related incidents to contain threats and prevent future attacks, always keeping the SOC team alerted and informed. Let's review the platform and see how Playblocks does its magic.
We're going to see now two very cool demos, demonstrating the power and added value of Horizon Playblocks to deliver collaborative prevention and increase your security. Both scenarios are based on real cases that happened recently to a couple of our customers who use Playblocks and enjoy it already. In our first story, we're going to demonstrate Playblocks prevention and collaboration involving the gateways of one of our pharmaceutical customers in the US. Our customer has a headquarter perimeter and several branch offices. All are protected with quantum gateways. We're now going to simulate the actual attack from the attacker's view. The attacker is first trying to check his connectivity to the headquarter by pinging a web server behind the quantum gateway. Now that the ping is successful, the attacker is moving on to the next step, trying to attack the web server with Log4j attack. Luckily, the IPS blade on the quantum gateway detected the attack and blocked it. But unfortunately, the attacker still has access to the organization, and using that access, he can try to gather more intelligence, attack different destinations in the company with other attacks. As long as the attacker can still connect to the environment, there is an actual chance that eventually he will compromise one of the assets. This is where Playblocks comes into the picture, with comprehensive prevention and automatic response. The customer admin immediately received a message on his Teams channel from Playblocks, telling him that the IP that attacked him is now blocked. The message shows all the prevention details, what triggered the block, information regarding the attack and the attacker, and more details about the prevention that Playblocks performed. The cool thing about this automatic response is that it happened immediately, from the attack detection to collaborative prevention by all the enforcement points in seconds, without changing the policy and without policy installation. So the headquarters that was attacked, but also all the other branch offices are now protected. And to top off this comprehensive prevention, the admin was notified about what happened in their Teams channel, used by all the IT security team. So everyone on the team got the message and are now in sync. If we go back to the computer of the attacker, we can easily see that he has no ping and no access. He can't gather any more intelligence or attack the organization. Well done to Playblocks.
In our second story, we will see what happened when the Harmony endpoint detected a compromised device in one of our banking customers in Europe, and how Playblocks prevented the attack from spreading. Let's experience the attack from the user point of view. The user device is running Windows and is protected by Harmony endpoint with latest updates. The computer has access for the internet and to all the company resources. Now the user is running a file on his desktop that looks innocent and safe. Unfortunately, this file wasn't innocent at all. It's really a ransomware attack called WannaCry, and the computer of the user is being compromised. Luckily, Endpoint immediately detects the ransomware and starts to analyze it, and eventually stop the attack. However, malicious code already ran on this device, and such threats often look for ways to spread and infect more devices. Now let's see how Playblocks collaborative prevention eliminates the risk of such a movement. Playblocks quarantined the compromised endpoint device, so outgoing traffic from this device will be blocked on the gateway to protect the network and to prevent the potential infection from spreading. All relevant details were sent immediately to the SOC admin via their communication channel. If the user will try to surf the internet, he will get this page saying the device is in quarantine. In addition, access to corporation resources like Teams is blocked on the firewall. Now the admin can safely evaluate the situation and take more action if needed before connecting again the device to the network. As you can see in this customer story, real malicious traffic was sent from this compromised device to other devices in the network and was blocked by the firewall due to the preventive block by Playblocks.
Wasn't that cool? Now that we've seen what Playblocks can do, let's see how easy it is to onboard and start working with it in just a few minutes and just a few clicks. Horizon Playblocks was built as part of Check Point's Infinity Portal. The first step to activate Horizon Playblocks is to connect your management environment to the Infinity Portal. And guess what? If your management is in the cloud, powered by Smart One Cloud, we take care of that for you automatically. Let's have a look at my on-premise management with my Smart Console. My management is running RD1.20 with latest updates. I have 2 gateways in my environment, also running RD1.20. Let's navigate to Infinity Services tab and click on Get Started to start the process of connecting my management to the Infinity Portal. You need to have an Infinity Portal account, and you can easily create one by clicking on Create Account. Just to save time, I already created an account, and it's really just a few clicks and filling out information. Once you have an account, you need to create trust between the management and the Infinity Portal. Let's click on Get Token. I need to approve sharing information between my management and the Infinity Portal. Next, I copy this token and paste it in my Smart Console. Connect. My management is now connected to the Infinity Portal, and I can enjoy new security services of Check Point delivered from the cloud directly to my on-premise management. As you can see, Playblocks is already active. In fact, Playblocks was activated automatically as part of connecting my management with the Infinity Portal. From now, Playblocks will send me notifications on important events in my environment, such as policy installations that failed, suspicious logins, changes in admins and permissions, and more. I can open Playblocks and activate even more automation flows. Let's click Open in Browser. That's the main page of the application, and as you can see, the first recommended action is to activate Quantum Enforcement. This will allow you to fully enjoy the collaborative prevention capabilities of Playblocks by remediating threats on your Quantum gateways that were detected by various Check Point products. I click on Setup, switch to Enabled. I want all my gateways to enforce automatic remediation, so I keep it on All, and I click Save. Now, to start the enforcement, I need to approve installing the policy. This policy installation will happen only once, and it's required so Playblocks will create a new layer in my policy that will allow Playblocks to block attackers or quarantine infected devices in my network. After this single policy installation takes place, all the enforcement operations will happen immediately in real time without changing the policy. Let's click on Yes. And we're done. Now both gateways enforce automatic remediation by Playblocks. Now let's switch to the Automations tab and click on All. In the Automations tab, you can see all the automation flows that you can activate out of the box. Some of the automations require Quantum Management or gateways. In addition, there are automation flows that require Harmony Endpoint, IoT Protect, XDR, XPR, IOC Management, SD-WAN, and more. If you click on Applicable, you'll only see automations that are currently available for you, according to the products that you have. Once you add more Check Point products, you'll have more automations available to activate. Each automation flow can be opened to see the actual flow and to configure if necessary. To activate a flow, simply switch it to Enable. Let's navigate to the Connectors tab. In the Connectors page, you can see and manage the connection between Playblocks and other systems in your environment, including the Quantum Management. Playblocks integrates with your preferred communication platforms, such as Teams and Slack, or ticketing systems, such as ServiceNow and Jira, to notify and get user interaction when decisions are needed. By default, Playblocks will send notifications by email to all the primary admins of your Infinity account. However, you can customize the email addresses that will receive notifications from Playblocks. You can also set phone numbers that will receive notifications by SMS. You can set your Slack channel or Teams channel very easily. And you can also integrate Playblocks with your ticketing systems. Playblocks has many more capabilities. It also allows you to monitor prevention over time, to review and investigate triggers of security and operational events, to control the lists of blocked or quarantined devices, and more. You can refer to our documentation for more information.
This was just a taste of how Horizon Playblocks, a security automation and response platform, provides you with instinctive, proactive, and collaborative security to boost prevention. Playblocks provides the fastest time for prevention and makes your security products, the analyst, and all the other operational tools work together for collaborative security. If you'd like to see Playblocks in action, click on the link below to start free trial or contact your Checkpoint representative for more information. Thank you for joining us today.
Okay, that was fantastic. Thank you so much to Yael and Eran for the overview and the demo. I've put up an announcement too with a link directly to request a demo if you're already ready for that stage. Or we encourage you also to reach out directly if you'd like to your Checkpoint representative or partner. Yael, is there anything you'd like to add before we finish off today?
Actually, no. I think that we got the full overview of what Playblocks is and how to reach out and test it out. I really welcome all of you to learn more about it and to test the product, which is very easy to do and give you value straight away. So thank you for joining us today and listening. And I'll be happy to receive personally any comments or questions you may have. I'm always available for that. So thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. And let's get started with Playblocks. Have a nice afternoon.
Thank you.